Good evening and welcome to ESP Speaks. I'm so happy to be here with you again. What a privilege to see you once again. Remember, if you can't watch the whole episode, you can catch us on a rebroadcast on Anchor, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Twitch. Now we're on YouTube Live, so click, subscribe, and hit the little bell. And we're also on Facebook Live and Instagram. Right now, you're looking at a rebroadcast on Zoom, but it's worth it because tonight I want to bring to you a guest that I actually had on my season last season, and I didn't get a chance to really get into what he was saying. It's an important book, so we're going to have him back this evening. He is author, he is a director, he's a filmmaker, he's a writer, he's an educator, he's an activist, and he's also the founder of 4th of July Entertainment. D.W. Wilson. Please join me in welcoming him into the podcast. Where you at, D.W.?
Hey, D.W.
Hey, how are you? It's always great to see you.
Leonard, please be with you, ESP. Glad to be here.
You look pretty good. Your backing looks wonderful. I like that.
Thanks.
Wow. I know
I
red
got
is
it
your color.
especially for you.
Yes, words are power. So all of your words, you have shock, you have optimism, you have humor, you have BDSM. Ooh, you have
Right.
suck it. Ooh.
Ooh.
And you have side chick.
Ooh. That's right.
So, ladies,
Shout out to all the side chicks.
That's right. Side chick. Well, why are side chicks important? Here's why side chicks are important. DW is the author of a book called Hardcore Love. And if you haven't read that one, you got to catch that one. There's a lot of poignant information. We'll touch on that tonight. But the one that I'm really, really interested in is side chicks. Now, let me get the title right. Okay.
Please.
7 side chick secrets all women should know, especially wives.
Especially wives.
All right, so that's a can of worms right there, DW.
Right.
Let's jump right in because I don't want to waste any time.
Okay.
This new book, it puts me in the mind of a deeper, more well-explained, what's the one that guy wrote a couple of years ago? Think Like a Man, Be Like a Woman, or something like that. But he kind of gave a broad spectrum of ideas as to how men think. And it's interesting that he wants us to think like men when women typically are considered to be smarter than men. So why can't we think like a woman and just do what we got to do in order to handle or be with our man? So now here you come with this, and in reading it, I thought it was extremely powerful. I thought you dealt with some subject matters that typically are separational issues, but the way you placed it puts the side chick and the wife in the same venue. And I thought that was really, really interesting because you equip women. It's not about equipping the wife or equipping a side chick. You equip women across the board. So I'm going to shut up now and I want you to jump in and I'll ask some questions along the way. So, what was the intent? Why seven side chicks? Why did you write that in the beginning?
Right. Well, the book is Seven Side Chick Secrets, as you said, all women should know, especially wives. And I wrote it as, you know, the roles of side chick and wife. I believe that both have something very special, unique to offer in terms of life. And I believe that relationships are, you know, the most powerful thing in which we engage. So it's time to pull the role of side chick out of the shadow, Jane and, you know, Being Mary Jane and those other shows that vilify the side chick. Let's pull her out of the shadows and try to understand on a deeper level. You know, the side chick has some things that she can teach all women. The wife has some things that she can teach all women. The long-suffering girlfriend has something she could share with and teach all women. So, you know, in being able, the unique vision I have as a man to be able to see all this, and it doesn't make me the authority. I believe that all women are their own authority. Certain things, truths will resonate with them, and certain things won't. But there's, you know, never a position for a man to say, well, this is how you should think, or this is what you should know, only sharing. So I believe this book, it shares a lot.
Okay. So I understand everything that you just said, and it makes sense to me as a woman, as a married woman, as a divorced woman, as at one point a single woman. Every part of that book had a piece for me, depending on where I was in the journey, and was willing to see it. Because let's be honest, ladies, you can be totally resistant. From the time you pick this book up, if you're a wife, you can be resistant. But the reason that I want you to read this book again, if you have already, and if you haven't read it, read it for the first time, is because it opens your mind to a different way of looking at a situation that has typically been a sore or a thorn in our sides, no matter what side of the spectrum you're on. If you're the side chick, you've always been taught to hate the wife. If you're the wife, you've also been taught to hate the side chick. Some of us were both. Some of us were side chicks and eventually became a wife. There's a lot to be gained from the thought process in this book. But I want to state this to you. 78% of people asked have said that they, yes, have cheated in their relationship, whether it be man or a woman. And the 30% of the relationships did not survive after the process had happened. Now, in your book, reading the tactics and the skills and the tools that you've given in your book, I think that there would have been a higher survival rate for both of these questions, before, during, and after the relationship. So now I'm going to bring you back to the forefront. Tell us the most important element that we need to know that's going to make them pick up this book. Because you know what? Let's start with, what is a side chick? Since that's the core of the book. What's a side chick?
Well, a side chick is typically a person that is not the main woman in a man's life or the main person in a man's life, but someone that he sees or engages with on the side. Mm-hmm. So ancillary, on the side of the main relationship.
So conversely, would I have a side dick? Do these tactics in the book, are they applicable in the reverse?
Yeah, they're side dudes. They're definitely side dudes.
Okay, so side dude is what we'll
dynamics of it. Doesn't matter what the relationship, who's in the relationship. Yeah, the dynamic is the same. The dynamic is the same. And relationships, you know, one of the most important things to know about relationships is this: relationships don't serve to show us the other person. We're not in it to learn about the other person. We're in relationships to learn about ourselves. Mm-hmm. So when we go into it saying, oh, I'm going into it to serve a person or to love a person or to love on a person, that's wonderful. It's what the other person does is mirror reflect who we are. So we're learning about ourselves and learning and growing. And I'll say to you this, when you're in a relationship and the other person cheats, and that's a deep word that we need to go into, so save that one. That's the time you want to stay in the relationship and dig into what's going on. Because if you don't learn the lessons, you pick up and go to a new relationship and it's the same cheating.
Same thing. Got you. That's deep.
Baggage around. Come on. Don't quit. Stay in it.
That's deep. All right.
And why do men cheat? That's a whole different. That's also okay.
You just take this whole interview on your own here, because that was my next question. Knock yourself out. Why do they cheat?
People think men cheat because they're afraid, or because they don't want to commit to relationships fully, because they're scared of commitment. Those things scare them. But really, men cheat because they're afraid. We're afraid. We're afraid that if we really dig in and show our partner who we are in reality, not all the dressing and the money and the cars and all that stuff, without the veneer of all that, if you really see who we are, you won't love us and you'll leave us.
Wow.
So you really see us naked, without all that stuff, who we are. If we make ourselves completely vulnerable and show you our souls, you will leave us.
Wow, really? But most women want to see their men in the most base of formats. We want to see you naked, as you say. Don't you guys know that?
Well, it's hard to trust because, as I said in the first book, Hardcore Love, which is really a great foundation for all this, we learn to love through the process of those who love us. So that relationship teaches us about love. Now, some have wonderful parents and wonderful loving pillars, the 7 pillars of relationship, I call them. And we learn from the best. But some of us learn to love. They love with very strict conditions. So what we learn is that people will love us unless we do something that disappoints them. And that relationship with mommy for men is key. So when you get into a relationship, with your girlfriend or your spouse, it's really a mirror reflection of the relationship with mommy. And when you did something mommy didn't like, what did she do? You were punished.
Yes.
So we learned that love means hiding stuff for fear of punishment. It doesn't mean being open and honest. I said in my first book, and I caught a lot of flack, there is no cheating. Cheating doesn't exist. It's in our mind. What we do is we go out and we want to do something that we want to do. And it's something that the other person doesn't want us to do. We're not cheating them out of anything. What we're doing is lying. And we only lie because we're scared.
Wow.
If we had the kind of relationship where we could tell our partner anything, the lying wouldn't be necessary. So there'd be no more cheating.
Why do men get so scared of us having this information? I really can't wrap my mind around that, because that's some powerful information that you just released there. And if we knew it as women, especially partners, if you're married, if you're in a long-term relationship, if we knew this, it kind of to me, it kind of distresses the whole situation if these things are put out front and dealt with.
Right.
If that information is there. But why do men freak out?
Again, the relationship with the parents and all those people that loved us, but they loved us with condition. And, when you're younger and your parents are like, oh, I love you so much. But behind that love is an expectation. I love you, but I want you to get good grades. I want you to make me look good. I want you to behave yourself. There are all these things that are placed on love when it should just be, hey, I love you. And all that other stuff is stuff that you'll develop. We'll work together on it. You'll make some mistakes, but at the end of it, you will grow as a person. And there is no perfect relationship. Everyone that you are meeting is going through something if they're a couple. They're going through it. So why don't we share information and go through it together? Help each other develop.
Yes, 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 as they say. So question for you. You mentioned the 7 pillars.
Oh, yeah.
What are the 7 pillars?
Well, I'm not going to name them all. I want you to buy the book.
Okay.
but we'll start with the basics in hardcore love. One of the pillars is I love you, that claim to, hey, I love you, I'm with you. Your grandparents, your first teacher, not the first teacher you encounter in school, but the first teacher is the person who shows you your gift first, the person you never forget. Shout out to me. I'll never forget her first teacher. Also, your first bully. Your first bully, the first person that tortured you or came around and made you feel uncomfortable is so important because that's where you learn conflict resolution.
Wow.
Some of us fought them all and hope they go away. And that's the same methodology we use to deal with life's problems now. Isn't that something, that transference? So in relationships, we learn that people will love us as long as we stay within. Mom, it was get good grades. With your girlfriend or wife or side chick, it's you can't see anyone else but me. You can't have feelings for anyone else but me. And even if you start feeling things and developing, you have to repress that because we're in a relationship. You can't even talk to me about you feeling a way for someone else. That's not going to last, right?
Okay. All right. We're going to take a commercial break right here. And we are with D.W. Leonard, author of 7, say it with me, Daryl, 7
side chick secrets all women should know, especially wives.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
I'm transforming now these cars and planes. I'm always boarding. Just out down the I'm performing, never boring. Now you can't afford it. Champagne, looking like I'm from the D. D's no Cartiers. Pockets deep.
What are you laughing at? Oh my gosh. Wait, y'all want to hear something funny? Oh, Zoe, don't play with me. Please do not play with me. Oh, no, I'm going to tell it. So, y'all know how I like to behave when we go to the drive-thru, right? Okay. Yes. And y'all know how cheap Rhonda is, right? Cheap ass. Well, you gotta so anyway, we pull up to Cheap Eats, a.k.a. Taco Bell, right? What's your favorite place? So, the woman says, shut up. You know, welcome to Taco Bell. Wait, welcome to Taco Bell. Can I take your order? And this one got jokes. Shit. I just like out of nowhere, I said, yo quiero Taco Bell. Rhonda's giving me the death stare already. Okay, so the woman starts laughing. So she goes, okay, can I take your order? So you know what, Zoe, ordering. You know what, I am so sick. Oh, God. While she's ordering, I'm like, taco, you know, like that sounds like and that's why I ain't going where the woman says, okay, pull to the next window. We get to the next window. She's like, your order is $27. Rhonda's like, wait a minute, I only ordered so-and-so. She said, miss, I have taco after taco on this order. Your order is $27. And she looked at me for money. My money. I was like, nah, you know what, forget all of that. You know what, Zoe? Whatever. I'm coming for my money. About that. Lord, oh hell, I'm going to break loose.
I hit recorded drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding.
So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're back on ESP Speaks. We're here with D.W. Leonard, author, filmmaker. He does everything. Wonderful friend as well. And we're talking about 7 side chick secrets all women should know, especially wives. So I'm going to jump right back in because I got a whole list of stuff to ask you about, because you have a segment in the book called How to Get a Ring. But before we get to that one, I'm going to name all of the ones that hit me, and you could put it in one big scope. How to Get a Ring, Man Soother, Man in 7 weeks. You say that every woman can lock a man down in 7 weeks. And then I want to talk about form and function. So let's start with form and function.
Ooh, my favorite.
That's a biggie. All right. And all yours.
That the people think that the more attractive someone is, that the more likely it is they'll get a good relationship or they'll attract someone. And that's wonderful because, yes, people who are conventionally attractive, meaning society's put their they do gather eyes. But looks have very little to do with having a good relationship, very little to do with it. Men work in 2 ways, form and function. First, the form. Okay, it's attractive, whatever, however you feel about that. Function, what does it do? And if you are engaged in making a man feel like his dreams can come true, like you're his partner, like you're in his corner against all odds, then you will secure that man. The look, but what seals the deal is how you perform in his life. That's the key part of it. That's why you have women like, people like Halle Berry. Shout out to Halle. They get married and the looks are great, but that doesn't keep a dude around.
I mean, but is that fair?
But some people, somebody said about Halle, hey, I can't take this anymore. Come on. What's that?
I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay.
What does you get?
With regard to Halle Berry, so
right,
for a man, the looks are what get you on board, but is not what keeps you there.
Well, looks get attention. There are 2 types of women. Women that have a man's attention and a woman that doesn't have a man's attention. And looks have become this thing where it's like, oh, I want to have a certain look because I know that gathers a lot of eyes from men. That gets you attention. But that's not what keeps men. If you'd like to have a man and then have him, leave you or not want to call you or ghost you, that's fine. Looks, then put all your time into looks. However, if you want to keep a man by your side, if you want to have a partner, find out about this man. What drives him? What he's scared of? What he wants to do in his life and what he's willing to sacrifice to get it. And make yourself a part of that cause. And then he should do the same for you because you're worthwhile and you have your own film script and your own cause. And that's a relationship. 2 people supporting each other and making their dreams come true. That's a relationship. And the function is the most important part. What do you do? How do you perform? How does he feel when he's around you? Does he feel he can take over the world? Or are you telling him that, he has to put the toilet seat down and the twisty tie back on the bread? I don't know. Men lose the twisty tie. Okay. I don't know why that is. But anyway.
Put the roll back on the toilet paper.
Put the roll of toilet paper back.
All right. So in other words, don't be his mama. He already has one of those.
He already has a mom. Be his lover. Don't even be his wife. Don't even be his wife. If he makes you his wife in name, that's fine. But don't be his wife. Wife, respect and love and all that, that's fine. Be his bitch. Be his side piece. Be something like that. Be someone who makes love to him in the laundry room. Be that person. that person stays in his life.
That person is called the freak.
That person is called the person who's been there the longest. She stays.
Okay, so let's move on a little bit because you deal with a concept in the book that almost puts them, the wife and the side chick. Before I get to that, you talk about side chick proofing the relationship.
Yes.
Which was deep. But you also talk about putting them in the same venue. They're almost friends. Explain yourself, because you see, I'm still trying to figure out why you wrote the damn book, but okay, go ahead.
Well, in terms of what specifically, so that I have it.
Why you wrote the book?
Oh, why I wrote the book? Again, I've started relationship coaching when I was in high school, I think. And I don't like coaching because, it's something whereas and they can figure out what's going on in relationships. But what they didn't see was, from a man's perspective, what we were thinking about what was going on. So in essence, we're looking at the same thing and taking two different things from it.
Okay.
So I like to call myself.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt you. I need you to explain that again because I don't know. I'm seeing myself fluid, but every once in a while, I think your connection is a little funky because you keep stopping.
Oh, okay.
I keep moving. And I'm moving.
I'm seeing the same too.
So it's kind of staggery, but if you could just repeat that one more time with the after relationship coaching in high school, I don't like coaching.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm more of your best friend, your guru. People call me Dr. Love. I'm a love activist. And, that's what I do. It's to help bridge the gap between side chick and wife, to help bridge the gap. So
and why? Why?
Because
we grew up in religious, especially if you grew up in a religious home.
Right.
Really? Unless you're a Mormon, sister wives, or that type of thing, it's not acceptable. And it is cheating because you stole something from the vows that you made the day you married me. So that's where the cheating thing is. But why do we want to combine these two women other than giving you the perfect life because you get to have one?
Well, we're not really combining two women. We're trying to understand from their perspective because they offer something unique. I'll give away a little of the book in terms of this. My definition of side, you have to pay to learn about chick, but my definition of side is.
Okay.
She is dangerously effective. And side chicks are dangerously effective because they do what the wife used to do. And that is hold attention, nurture, and support within a very limited time frame. And it doesn't take a whole lot of time to make your man know that you care about him, that you're in his corner, that champ. But when you get married, sometimes women let that flame die, and rightfully so, in favor of you have a job, you have children, you have other considerations, you have social commitments, and that relationship with your man, here comes the side chick just doing the things that you used to do. And if you did them currently, then there'd be no need for a side chick. And if side chicks did them and understood what they were doing, they could get their own husbands and there would be no need for any others.
Exactly. But then you have
having everyone have a good relationship.
Okay. But what about the greedy men who feel, and they're getting what they need from both, and they're having their cake and eating it too?
Well, you want your man to have his cake and eat it too. I want my woman to have her cake and eat it too. The thing is, I just don't want her to lie to me about what she wants. If you want to sleep with others, that's a conversation. We got to sit down and talk about it. Maybe I'm with it. Maybe I'm not. But the connection between us, that you're honest enough to tell me how you really feel and what you really want, is the greatest thing in the world. Just tell me the truth.
But that's where I began in the beginning.
And cheat on them, and there's many. You know what they told me? Yeah. You know what they told me? They told me, the big deal wasn't that he stepped outside of our relationship. The big deal was in front of the entire neighborhood. And he did that because he lied. Men don't want to be embarrassed. Women don't want to be embarrassed. And if we just had a deeper connection and shared the truth about what we feel and what we want, and felt safe need for all this cheating that's going on. And it's not complex. It's not 500 ways to please your man. It's very simple. Let's stop lying to each other and be honest about what we want and what we're willing to do for it.
But didn't we start this conversation with that? Didn't we start this conversation with that?
Well, yes, but that's the thing. We started the conversation on truth, and it's the type of thing that people will go, yeah, I know, tell the truth. But then why we're lying in the first place?
Yeah, well, see. And we'll find that out when we come back.
All right.
So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a moment with ESP Speaks. We're talking to D.W. Leonard. Come on back and hang out with us. Welcome back. We're here with D.W. Leonard, and we're talking about 7 side chick secrets all women should know. Why? This is a book that's scheduled to be released on November 23rd. And our wonderful, wonderful author, D.W., is going to be doing a skew of seminars, and there's a workbook, and you got a lot ahead of you. This is really turning into a developmental project. So ladies, at some point I'm going to be releasing information for you, and we're going to be posting things on our websites, because you're going to be able to come out to these seminars. You're going to be able to meet him and touch this information firsthand. And I guarantee you, I've seen the manuscript on this book. It's phenomenal. It really, really is going to enhance your relationship. And that's what it's meant to do, enhance the relationship. And if you're a side chick, he even tells you how to get your own man and not be a part of the problem. If you're a wife, he tells you how to side chick proof your relationship. There is a lot of information coming from a man that's interested, coming from a man that wants to connect and give us as women the information that we wouldn't otherwise have access to, which is truth. And you know, you can't do without the truth. But let's get back to our conversation with DW because I want to ask you two more
Okay.
things. If you would allow me to indulge you, there are two more concepts that we've dealt with. One is called Man in 7 Weeks, and the other one is called Man Soother. And I'm going to let you decide which way you want to go first. But these were the two most important elements that I walked away with. So let me know what's more important for you.
Okay, we could go through Man in 7 Weeks first.
Okay, cool.
All right. You can get any man in 7 weeks, and the book, Seven Side Chick Secrets, shows you how. It walks you relationship where it starts out and you're on fire for each other and everything is going great about week 3. Week 4, you're in heaven. Week 5, it couldn't be better. Week 6, you start hearing from them less going on. By week 8, the relationship is over, right?
Wow.
This book, the chapter on getting a man, shows you how to maximize that time. There are steps every person can take within that 7 to 8 week cycle relationship step and not peak and then get ghosted. So, that's an important chapter. You just need a strategy. You just need to know how to recognize the signs.
Okay. Strategy plays in everything, I see.
Strategy plays in everything.
Okay.
And in the workbook that is going to accompany this book, people, and we really don't know the people. Sometimes you don't even know their last name. You have the workbook is going to have an application form. It's going to have a discovery sheet. You need to really know this person before you get into this relationship.
You know what? I have to jump in with one thing. Wow. Are these primarily this book focusing on long-term relationship that already are in place, or is this something that we should be doing? Because I know a lot of women who date online. Is this something that we should be doing at the onset of those types of relationships when you're getting to know them? Should you be applying these tools that you're giving throughout the book? Or does it really apply to a relationship, long-term relationship right now?
That's an excellent question. What I love about this book is it touches on whether you've been in a long-term relationship, you're married, whether you've been a side chick or a long-suffering girlfriend. Shout out to long-suffering girlfriends. Hang in there. This book is for you. It will show you how to enhance what you have,
That's a damn shame.
And elevate what you do have. So it's for everyone.
I know a couple of long-suffering.
Look, if you've been his girlfriend or whatever in the relationship, if it's longer than 3 years, you should have a ring by now. And this book will teach you how to get there.
Wow. You just crushed a couple of women with that.
Yeah.
You know
get
that.
It, and then make it, and then have that partnership grow. 3 years. 3 years. Anything other than 3 years, we moving on.
Well, I know men who have had women in relationships for 5 years and make them feel guilty when they ask for a friendship or when they ask for a watch, they make them feel guilty. I'm sorry, this is not funny.
No. Look,
terrible.
Look, we are all guilty as men, we are all guilty of the same thing. We waste time, we play with time, we've messed up with time. This is the thing. As enlightened people, we're not going to do that anymore. My daughter, I don't have a daughter, but if all my daughters out there, my spiritual daughters, I'm advising you. Dr. Love is telling you, 3 years tops. After that, there are plenty of men out there who would love to be entangled with you. Okay? 3 years, no more.
I like the way you put that. Entangled. Ladies, go get a new entanglement. Okay, so man soother.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We're doing man soothers.
Yes, okay.
All right. You're going to check in with me. Which man soothers do you agree with? I'm not going to read all of them, but we'll do some of them. All right. First man soother.
Well, we have to pay attention to this network because we've been blanking out. So,
Yeah.
all right.
It's all good. First man soother. Do you rub his shoulders?
All the time.
Big stress reliever. Okay. Do
Full
you
massage.
rub his neck? Do you rub
Full
his neck?
massage. Yeah, I do.
Okay. Here's the bonus points. Do you rub his neck in the car while he's driving?
Sometimes, because he says that it distracts him and he doesn't want to crash, so we'll pull over, and that kind of leads to other stuff. But you know what? That's a whole nother show.
Look, no, that's this show. If he doesn't pull over, you ain't doing it right. Okay? If you don't pull the car over, you ain't doing it right. Okay? Just saying. My 2 cents in there. This is a big one that is, you're making me laugh. This is a big one that's slept on.
I'm a big rubber.
And that's the show, folks. Good night.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's the show, folks. I can't top that. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
This one is wonderful, but people sleep on it. Can you give him a manicure and a pedicure?
I can give him one, but we would normally go and get it together.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right.
But I'd file the
It's great. You know, you're on your cruise, whatever you're doing. Definitely, yeah. Get that and get the group massage. But when you take his hands, when you take his feet, this is all about connection. Mm-hmm. And the more points of connection you can establish,
yes,
the longer the good energy flows.
Yes, the answer to the question was yes from the beginning. But as you said, like if we're going somewhere and I don't have the time, we'll go and sit at the shop together.
Definitely. All right, this is another one. This is one of my personal favorites.
Wait. The connection
ball
is
man.
There you go. I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Do you shave him? Cut his hair.
Body or his head?
Okay. All the.
Well, he's bald now. Yes, it's bald now. When he had hair,
that's big.
When he had hair, he went to the barbershop. But I would always like trim the goatee and pull the gray hairs when he had hair. But now that he's bald, I get to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah, when you shave his head, that's powerful.
Definitely.
That's powerful. And this, I'll end with this one. This is called a Superman move. Do you rub his chest and call him your pet name while you do it?
I'm sorry. Say that again, because you put that.
Yeah. Rub his chest and call him Superman.
Do I call him Superman?
Or whatever pet name you have for him.
No, I don't call him Superman, but I call him what I call him. I call him what I call him, which I'm not going to say on air.
And move, yeah.
Okay. Yes, I wrote. Yes. Okay. But the pet name that I have is not Superman.
Hey, do you have a name for his privates?
Oh, of course. From day one.
Somebody's reclaiming their time.
From day one. That's you gotta clear that up from the very beginning. He got a name and I got a name from there. Okay.
All right.
Now that I have all of my business on the air, thank you very much. Did not see that coming, but okay. I guess I'll hear from him when this episode airs. I'll hear it anyway. But those are the man soothers,
right?
Cool. So
And there are more. So
but you should be saying yes to these as a woman in a relationship.
definitely.
Okay, cool. There's more?
Definitely. The more points of connection, better. No, there's more in the book. Get the book. But the more points of
I thought
connection.
you had more for me.
All right.
Woo.
Woo.
Okay. Wow. Yes, it's kind of hot. So once again, ladies, we are here with D.W. Leonard having a great time. Seven Side Chick Secrets all women should know, especially wives. And it's not, don't let the title fool you. It really is chock full of information. It's a different perspective on looking at your relationship and what you're missing. Because let's be real, all jokes aside, when we talk about side chicks, it's because we're missing something. A man doesn't leave, he doesn't go out and do things if he's satiated, if things are being done well, if he's happy. They don't do that like that. They move away when something is wrong. So if your things are tight and you have everything in line and are willing to get into his mind and to get into his feeling and to get into his heart, not push him into talking, but take the time to identify and line up with him, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
All right.
Because you're going to have everything so tightly locked in what is yours that he's not going to have, first of all, he's going to be too busy engrossing you or enveloping you that he's not going to have the time to go anywhere. So get the book. Maybe you are missing something. We have to look at ourselves first. If we want to help our relationship, it's not always the other person that's wrong. We have to look at ourselves first before we start pointing fingers, before well, you don't do this, you don't do that. How about, did I do this? Do I do that? Look at yourself, and this book will help. It's being released on November 21st. It's on 4th of July, from 4th of July Entertainment, which is D.W. Leonard, also known as Dr. Love. You can also pick up his other book, which has a lot of the beginning principles of this book, which is called Hardcore Love. They're all available on Amazon, but I'll put up his information at the end so you can get it from him direct, because maybe he does a signed copy for you. There's also seminars with a workbook coming out. I'm excited because you know I'm going to be right in the front row making a ruckus.
You hosting it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
See you there.
Here first. I'd be honored. Really, you know I'm that type of facilitator. Awesome. Are you going to be doing it in New York? Are you going to be doing it in several cities? What's going on? I got to block out my calendar, you know.
We're going to do New York. We're going to do Los Angeles. We're going to do Atlanta, Georgia.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm looking forward to. And when should we look forward to this?
Oh, definitely coming this, you know, when the world allows us to congregate again.
When we're not doing this anymore. Are you kidding me? Look at this. We're all surgeons. Who knew? Oh, well, listen, once again, DW, it's been an amazing time. Thank you so much for coming back. As I said, we were with him last season, and we didn't get a chance to really get into and laugh and enjoy. Thanks so much for sharing the time with us. And you know we're always here for you. Anytime you want to promote anything, anytime you have another book, you know I'm your biggest fan, right here. Always have there. And we're going to give you all your information. Let us know, how can we be in contact with you? Do you have a .com?
You can find me on Dr. Love, Dr. Love, Dr._Love on Instagram. You can find me D.W. Leonard on Facebook. 4th of July Entertainment, everywhere. Just Google me, I'm there.
Okay, and this is the lead project because you also have on, is it YouTube? You have on your show Black and White?
In Black and White, yeah, on YouTube, Brian and Dave. That's a great comedy. And also on Amazon Prime, for you Prime members, we have I'm Every Woman by D.W. Leonard, romantic comedy.
Oh,
If you want to
wow.
laugh, if you want to, a little bit about relationships, check that out.
Wow, we should do a watch party on ESP Speaks of I'm Every Woman. You didn't seem too
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Wow. I had a great time. Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you.
W. We look forward to everything that you do, and you've just been amazing. Thanks again. We love you. And for all of my ESP Speaks fans, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging with us. Remember, we're always still 6 p.m. on Saturdays is the rebroadcast. I'm trying the new way. We're fiddling with different things. This way I can put more into the episode and give you more. So we look forward to you. I love you. Remember, be positive, test negative. We'll see you next week.
All right.